I hope that we start living our life, like the dreams that we want to achieve in terms of work or something, that it's much more easier than what it is right now, because it's really tough.
Hey, what's up, you people? It's Johanna, aka Jojo. I'm super excited today because we are here with Layal Fakih. Layal is a game developer and community manager at LebGameDev, Lebanese game developers, with a bachelor's degree in computer science. She has worked on published 2D and 3D games, one of which is Fat Bunny Handless Hopper. She is now working on a soon-to-be-announced game. So she's a coffee aficionado, and that has helped her to go through many game jams. So with no further ado, Layal Fakih. Layal, welcome on the new segment, Coup de Coeur, which means crush in French. Hi.
Hello, everybody. Nice to meet you all. As Johanna said, I'm Layal. I'm from Lebanon, and I have a bachelor in computer science. So my journey started first with web development, and we didn't have at that time a lot of game dev companies. So it was a part that I was always curious, and I really loved games. At some point where I was Google searching about game development companies or communities in Lebanon, I found Unity Lebanon, and they were doing an event. So this opened a portal for me to join this community and to, for the first time, have a job as a game developer at Groovy Android, which why I started working on Fat Bunny and Handless Hopper. The journey wasn't easy. First of all, the community was mostly men. There wasn't female interested in this track. I felt pretty much at some point very shy and alone because I was a shy person. But I'm thankful that I've met very supportive people, and the co-founder of this company was very supportive, and they helped me learn Unity. From there, I began to build my confidence and started joining a bigger community called Lebanese game developers. And we started making game jams. From there, I also learned how to make games much more faster. So game jams were very useful for me. And I have made about 6 games in 48 hours. And as said, the journey here in Lebanon, it's a bit difficult because first of all, in Middle East, there's no game development course in the university. So when we tell our parents that we are very interested in game development track, we want to learn game development, they don't see that there is a market for it, and they are afraid for the kids. What will you work when you graduate? There's no market for it. We never heard about it before. Why don't you be an engineer? Why don't you be architect or maybe a doctor? So that's why we formed communities. And one of the goals at LebGameDev is to invite new members and let them know more about this track, that you can pursue your dreams, you can make your game, you can learn, we can help you learn. There are a lot of resources online, and you can even find a job if it's not in Middle East, abroad. So that was one of the paths that we chose to. And talking about Lebanon specifically, the thing is, in whole Lebanon, we have around 3 companies that's doing fine in game development. And this is very limited. This is something that at some point, if you want to encourage someone to join game development and start using Unity, if there's not a lot of jobs available, we make them aware that at the end, you need to find a job maybe abroad, because it's a big industry abroad. It's not very that focused here in Middle East.
So I wanted to thank you for all of that. I wanted to ask you, so there is no courses of game development up till now in the whole of Lebanon, is that correct?
In Lebanon, there was an attempt, multiple attempts to add game development courses. But the thing is, in the university, that they need expertise. They need someone who actually learned game development and who's actually ready to teach it. So basically, they can't make a 3-year course. they need a professor that's ready to plan this whole course, and they end up doing minor courses like learn Unity as a minor course, or learn a little bit of game development. But again, 3 months for game development is not enough. You need to learn physics, you need to learn fundamentals. Oh God.
No, leave it like that.
This is Lebanon. This is
Oh my God. No, it's okay. So as you know, Layal is in Lebanon. So Layal,
wow.
This is a segue to explain what is the challenges. I think all our viewers know what has happened in Lebanon recently. So with this in mind, tell me, what are the challenges today as a game developer in Lebanon, knowing already that the ecosystem is not there? What are you guys doing?
Okay, I'm going to talk about 2 phases. Phase before what happened, before the explosion, and phase after the explosion. Mm-hmm. So before the explosion, it's actually very positive. Mm-hmm. When I became a community manager, we focus on diversity, and we have more now females in the community. We have more artists, game designers. It's not only programmers. So we were progressing a lot. We have around 200 members. More people are interested, and most importantly, we don't focus on gender. We focus on only if you're interested in game development. We don't count. It's a community for all people. We don't care. Only it's about respect, and we're one big family. So we were planning more game jams and putting a plan to help members advance more in game development. And what happened in Lebanon, that we're facing inflation, whereas there's not enough dollars anymore. So the banks, they hold our accounts. I cannot get my dollars from my bank account. My money is stuck in the bank. We have to convert them to our local currency, and our local currency prices, the products prices are very high right now. So there's a big problem, big financial problem, economical problem. This is first thing. So we couldn't make a lot of local events before Corona. We couldn't make a lot of local events. It was a bit difficult, but that didn't stop us.
Even online?
Happened. What?
Even online?
When Corona happened, we focused more on online. Before, we focused more on local because we wanted to meet members and talk to them. It was much more easier and faster. When Corona happened, we made a quarantine jam online, and it's on Itch. It was very, very awesome. We had international members like around the world. It was very good for our members to meet new people, and it was very diverse. It's something that we wanted from a long time ago, because we're not people that live in a bubble. We have Canadians, we have Americans, we have Germans in our community. So it's very friendly. Until the biggest explosion happened that destroyed Beirut, which it was very horrible. It's 10 minutes away from home, so I was here when it happened.
Wow.
Yes. Okay. It's very scary. It's close to a nuclear explosion, and we have lost beautiful people, innocent 200, more than 200 people have lost their lives. 300,000 were homeless. Beirut is destroyed, and we don't know why. There is something not right. There's something wrong. This is a catastrophe. Will it happen again? Will it happen in another country? The investigation right now did not show who is behind this. And this is very important. This is a mass murder, a man-made murder, a man-made disaster. So it broke us, it broke our hearts, but we have to survive. This is a Lebanese trait that we got used to it. We have to survive, to stand, to talk, and to revolt, and also to do what we love to do. So by this, you see people that are trying hard to be active in communities, to work. It's enough that we have inflation. What else? We have Corona too. So
yeah, so that's great. And this is what you're doing now. Thank you for sharing, Layal. You actually standing and you're talking, and I'm really
Yes.
glad that you responded to one of my tweets, because it's important for people to hear even more about what's happening for you guys, for the community, and for the global gaming industry to support you. So what is needed right now to support you in terms of gaming? Do you, I guess that you need jobs, I get that you need, what is needed?
First of all, what's needed for us is, I'd personally think that we need our community to be more active in terms of maybe online events. We need more support to show our members that your games and your voice and the things that you love to create with Unity, people can see them internationally. Maybe they'll be more interested to work hard on that. Or sometimes we see showreels from all around the world. So we would like to see also Lebanon showreel.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's Dubai showreel. So it's something that we love, to be part in bigger communities, to grow. This is something that we're really aiming for. Beside everything that's difficult, we also need more expertise, especially in terms of learning. There's Unity Learn Premium also, which is very good because it's free and anyone can access it. I hope more university would know how to put a good game development course that from professor that's are experienced that they learned it, they have a degree with this, because it's a big course. It's not something you learn it for 2 months. We need this as a track in Lebanon. And of course, the companies, the game dev companies in Lebanon, we need a more interest in these companies. This is something that we need to be much more, like people concentrate much more on it. There's a lot of game dev companies open and eventually close because they fail at sustaining.
So if I hear correctly, you need awareness first, because people need to know about gaming. Awareness internally, I mean, nationally, locally, in terms of gaming is the way to gain a life, to have a life. And so awareness, education, training, coaching, all of that.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And the thing is that there are a lot of members in the community who made cute games and awesome games. Some of them even published games on Steam. So it's pretty much our community is pretty much growing, and especially that we're seeing much more people are focusing on it, much more youth. We have 6 years old.
So let me ask you, I recently have a chat with someone from South Africa, and his name is Nick Ho. And what he told me, and which is important actually for any type of organization, is data. So do you guys have already some data, number of game developer? You say that there is 3 to 4 game studio. Do you have some data? I'm sure being the community manager of GameDev Lab, and are those data accurate? And with this in mind, have you approached the government? Is there a mandate as well in terms of digital innovation with the government, where you can actually put yourself there and say, yeah, gaming is XXS $billion revenue per year. How can you help us create that?
Okay. Yes. So in terms of LebGameDev, we of course have, we know how many games, we know how many members we have. So we know how many members publish their games and how many members are currently working on their games. And we have the data. Concerning the government, we don't have a government right now.
Yeah, I wasn't talking about today, but I was talking even before, because you were saying there were no structure.
Yes, there were initiatives. There were like startups, Kickstarters. one of the two companies went through Kickstarters, and that's how they could continue. One of them was Groovy Antoid, and there's also Grey Imps, and there's also a couple other. The thing is that it's a new market. It's a new market, and we know that in the Middle East there's not a big market for games here, and compared to, of course, internationally. So it needs more practice. It needs more training, especially in terms of when you make a game and you need it to grow or something like that. We only have Kickstarters. There are about two. There's BDD Speed. It's very known. Concerning the government work, we have issues right now because of after the blast. So we even had revolution in the time where we had a corona. So it's very up and down. But that didn't stop us from at least trying and at least doing the best. And we really have people that have great ideas, and even that they ended up traveling in the end and joining companies, even big companies.
Okay.
Game development.
Okay. With this, what is the next step for you personally, for LebGameDev, and for the country?
The next step for me personally, I want to level up my expertise, and I want to finish my game and publish it. As a community manager for LebGameDev, of course, we need more members, and we're planning right now to support newly members and give them the right learning path. If whatever engine they use in terms of Unity, Unreal, or Godot, it doesn't matter. And of course, we need to encourage them, make them aware about this strike, and it's we need to see more games being made by Lebanese. Much more specifically, we need to see more games.
And one thing that I do with the Caribbean gaming industry, I'm from the Caribbean, and I recently gone there to the island that I'm from, which is Guadeloupe, and I've seen that there was no structure. So although I am based in the UK, I told myself, we need to do something, and associated with people there, the couple of the game developer, game designers that are there, we looking at really structuring that game development association. Anyway, it's France. Guadeloupe is France, so you have to do that. It's mandatory to actually have an association. So this is what we're doing. So why I'm always saying that is there any people from the Lebanese diaspora that are in the gaming industry and that would be willing to associate with you to really strengthen the works that you have already started?
Actually, there is one of the organizers. So there are two organizers at LebGameDev, and there's an organizer. His name is Iyad Al-Hout. He's a game designer, and there's another organizer. He's called Joseph Azam. He's an Unreal evangelist.
Okay.
Yeah. He's an Unreal evangelist. So Joseph helped a lot in funding the events, actually sponsoring the events. He's one of the reasons that we sponsored a lot of local game jams. Okay. So this is something that helped us at least make a lot of events. And he's an evangelist in Middle East. So of course there is another big community called Arabic games. So it's also a community of Arab game developers, and you have sometimes talks about game development and even tutorials and stuff. So it's something that she's currently focusing. And as for me, a community manager, I focus much more on Unity part. So I have members to learn, but this is a volunteer for me. I'm not I'm not a Unity evangelist. I'm doing everything from my heart, and what I really care is about diversity and inclusion. This is my target in the community. I want the community to be as much open and open for all kind of people, especially if we only care about respect and new opinions, new creativity. And I believe from there we can find new, much more unique games and much more unique ideas and much more even inclusion. And what I mean, much more, it's the community will be much more alive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. So we thank you, first of all, for the charitable works that you do. I'm sure that after this chat, I do believe that a lot of people will rally up and support you, myself first, and to ensure that there is some help that's going towards Lebanon and Lebanon game development as industry community. Yes. So is there, in terms of your personal growth into being a community leader and a woman community leader, and you just say that you have a Arab world game development. Where is that? Is it on Discord?
Yes, so LebGameDev, we have a Discord channel. It's a very big channel. We have a lot of channel. It's structured very well. Discord channel, it's for LebGameDev. And as for the Arabic community, they're still working on it as far as I know. But they did yes, as far as I know. And they did do a Bahrain Game Jam, which was sponsored by even universities, sponsored by companies. So this was very interesting that there is now a new interest in this kind of field, but we need also an interest in all the countries in Middle East and not just one country.
Yeah.
So that's something.
Yeah. So in terms of that, how do you position yourself?
In terms of that, I position myself as a community leader who encourages female and anyone to join, to have a voice in game development and to do what they love, even if they tell them that you're a lady, or that's pretty new to us, or that's just focus on what you love. If you want it, you can do it. You can do programming, you can do art, you can do whatever you want. There is hope for game development. I can see it's now starting to flourish. I have hope for it, and I feel like it's a new start in Middle East. Very interesting start, especially as we have even countries that more advanced in technologies. So it's a good start from there too. And I hope in Lebanon we'll fix the inflation issue and a lot of issues, but I hope we have a better future for this, and we keep on doing it.
Yeah.
That's much more
resilience. So there is resilience. In community leadership, the resilience impact is that those are the words: creativity, resilience, impact. Those are the words, that the main word that when you are a community leader, you really, okay, all right, we're going to try something else and we're going to push, and that is important. And have the courage to speak up as well, to represent, to give a voice. And I really thank you today, Layal, about you sharing what it is to be a game developer in Lebanon today, and a female game developer in Lebanon today. So I'm sure that you're going to come back. I would love to have you on the show when your game is released. That would be great. Today, do you need any help in terms of tech help? Do you need anybody that you going to help you from the community on stuff on your game, to help you on the game?
Well, basically, on my game, I'm a game developer, so I do even freelance. I did a couple of projects, and one of them was for an American University of Beirut. So I'm happy to say that I'm gaining better experience than before. And thanks again to Unity Learn Premier. We just need at least to have, I really wish that we have courses for game development in university. We need more awareness for that. And we need to, I hope we build more expertise in this track, and I see more communities. So that's in terms of it. I really always think about our community, because what we went through is very emotional. I was applying for a job just like hours before the explosion. And after the explosion, I was searching for my parents. I didn't know where they are. Everything was destroyed. People were on the ground. I had to make life decisions in a couple of seconds. And just 1 week, I had to stand and apply for jobs again. So we have to move on, and it's very sad. What we are going through right now is it's very sad. It's not fair.
What are your hopes?
What I hope?
Yeah, what are your hopes?
My hopes, I hope that we stop surviving and we start living. I hope that we start living a life like the dreams that we want to achieve in terms of work or something, that it's much more easier than what it is right now, because it's really tough. We are pretty much like anyone in the world, and we've made interesting projects, and everything that we've worked for, we really fought for it.
So thank you again, Layal.
Thanks for you.
Thank you. We're going to put all your information in the description box today, in order for people that want to help, to support, even to just give a word of encouragement, to really get in touch directly with you. And hopefully the members of our community, of our global community, will come together and support the Lebanese community today. I'm really grateful for you.
Thank you.
And thank you for sharing today.
Thanks a lot, Johanna. I've been looking forward to talk with you, because to me, you're a role model. I've seen you active on social media, and you really fight for women. I've seen it. I feel your vibes, and this is something very interesting. And again, we love to meet all people from the world, and it's very awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot for having me here.
Thank you, Layal. So viewers, it was an emotional chat today, but that's it. On our channel, this is that. This is raw, and it's not prepped. And this is how we do. We want to show you what is exactly our life in the gaming industry. I thank you, Layal. Do not forget to share, like, subscribe, comment the video, in order for people to see and to hear about what Layal shared today, and to get more help from the global gaming community. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Johanna, aka Jojo.